Good morning. My name is Reverend Fayann Schmidt, and it is my pleasure to be here today to serve as your guest speaker. Now we know Reverend Yvonne is somewhere out there in the world having fun, relaxing, maybe laying on a beach or pool, reading a book, and so we wish her well and know that she will return to us refreshed and ready to start again. So we're excited about that. So we wish her well and safe. Welcome to Unity Church of Creative Living, a world-class ministry dedicated to learning, growing, and serving. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you being here. And thank you, our cyber friends, our live stream. Thank you for being and joining us. And when you're in the St. John's area, please stop so that we can meet you and fellowship with you, and you can meet us. It's kind of nice when you see somebody on the screen that you get to really see a real person. And we're not robots here. So thank you, and we'd like to welcome you. Affirm with me our affirmation for the year. Together, I am prosperous and free in 2023. Yes, and I'll be talking today about how peace begins with me. Peace begins with you. So, and our affirmation for today is, I am the hands of God in action. Together, let's say that. I am the hands of God in action. Yes. And stay tuned for some more. But first, let's pray. We join together in prayer, and we open our minds and our hearts to receive your love, knowing that it is already ours. As we enlarge our hearts, we increase our capacity to love, to care, to give. We find opportunities to bring peace to our corner of the world. We welcome all people with kindness and know that the power of God within us is working through and around us. With grace, we move out into the world doing your will. We are so grateful to move with you, establishing peace on earth for all. And so it is. Amen.
All right, everyone, let's say namaste to one another. Find someone to look into your eyes and say namaste and welcome the spirit that is them.
Well,
namaste. Which is the spirit within you.
Namaste.
And then let's rise to our
namaste.
feet and welcome each other with the song, My Soul is Welcome Here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Woo. And I hope everyone here feels welcome. So my name is Ed Boardman, and as always, it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to assist in this celebration of light and love. And on this beautiful day, let us affirm Community Church for Creative Living's mission statement. And would you please recite it with me? Centered in God, we provide spiritual sanctuary that enriches and empowers all to realize their divine potential. Powerful words. And speaking of powerful words, the word for today is grace. And our affirmation is, with joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. Would you say that with me? With joy and gratitude, I welcome grace. The guiding, healing, harmonizing presence and the power of God is everywhere present. Divine grace is mine whenever I say yes to this presence within me. I release any thought that I am unworthy of grace. Nothing I could do or fail to do would ever disturb my divine identity. Grace need not be earned, nor can it be bought. It is inexhaustible. No matter how much comes my way, I can relax in complete trust that even more will be available when I need it. Grace doesn't happen to me. It expresses through me. Just as I have been blessed to receive grace when I have needed it, I am honored to be the conduit through which it flows when somebody else blessing them is in time of need. And from 2 Corinthians 4:15 we hear, yes, everything is for your sake, so that grace, as it extends to more and more people, may increase thanksgiving to the glory of God. And so it is. A couple of announcements before we get started. First of all, join Reverend Fayann and Bill Werfel, wherever he may be, for the 5-week class, The Eye of the Storm, beginning on Wednesday, June 28th at 7 p.m. This will be offered as a hybrid class on Zoom and also in person. Regular price is $140, but if you register before the 26th, we can get you that same class for only $100. What a deal. Go to our website or see Helen in the lobby to register. If you are a member and would like to find out more about our scholarship program, also see Helen in the lobby after service. If you haven't read or explored this book, I will tell you it's life-changing. I remember reading it about 10 years ago and led a class or two with it, and I'll tell you, it changes your life. It changes the way you look at the world. It changes the way you look at yourself, and gives you some really powerful tools to move forward. So I really encourage you, if you haven't explored this, to join Bill and Fayann, two amazing facilitators, to go on this journey with them. Women, The Women of Unity will be meeting here in the sanctuary on Tuesday, June 20th at 6:30 p.m. for a good time exploring something or other. I'm not at liberty to know, so it's a secret. And for you men, don't feel bad or left out. We're going to meet at my house this Tuesday and explore some things ourselves, as well as eat some delicious pulled pork, I'm told. So come on out. Midweek meditation series continues on Wednesday, June 14th at 7, with a burning bowl meditation led by Helen Sylvester. It's time for our mid-year release and renewal. Suggested offering is $20, and you can register with Helen in the lobby or at the door. Fayann's back. She's back, and as our guest speaker today, Reverend Fayann Schmidt, sees God in all people and things, especially in nature. She sees God in the interconnectedness of the wind blowing through the trees, which provide homes for many critters and winged ones alike. In the water that flows in and around us, bringing good thoughts and providing life for all, including two-legged, four-legged, and I'm assuming 6- and 8-legged creatures. Winged ones in the green life as well. Reverend Fayann loves the unity message because it includes all people. And it is the truth that she seeks. She sees unity. She feels the unity message within her. She is an associate minister at Unity of Chattanooga, is a member of Unity Church for Creative Living, and is also a Unity teacher. All her life, Reverend Fayann has been seeking peace. Reverend Fayann. But before we hear from Reverend Fayann, Jeremy?
Yes, let's all rise to our feet and proclaim how we feel the Spirit. It's a really easy song. This melody to repeat, so join in as soon as you can. 2, 3. And put your hands together, too, if you want to add some energy to the room. Here we go. And I feel the Spirit moving in me. 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 I feel the love. I feel the love moving in me. 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 I feel the joy. I feel the joy moving in me. 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 Feel the vision. I feel the vision moving in me. 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 I feel the presence. I feel the presence moving in me. 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 I feel the peace. I feel the peace moving in me. 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 I feel the Spirit. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving
I tell you, it's really good to be home. It really is. And it was so nice to come in Friday evening and just see a few familiar faces and to walk up the sidewalk, to the building was so nice. And this morning, thank you for the welcome as you came in and said hi, and good to see you. Glad you're back home. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not one to watch the news. However, I am down here living with my mother, who is 91, and forever she has watched the news. Don't know why, but she does. And when I came down and tried to get her to watch some of this, she's not having it. We're going to watch the news so she knows what's going on in the world. Okay. So as I watch the news, I wonder what has happened to kindness. What has happened to caring for our brothers and sisters? What happened to love? Just love. What happened to peace? World peace. Ephesians 4:32 says, "And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, and live in love." Live in love. Love heals and love is kind. Love is generous. Love forgives. Love is oneness. Love sees oneness. Love lets go of small things. Love is quick to smile. Love connects us to all life. Love offers grace and forgiveness easily. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, and we've all heard this many times. Love is patient and love is kind. It does not insist on its own way. The changes we desire start by looking inside ourselves. Self-love. When we move forward with our mind and our heart working together, we can change our world. For me, this concept was difficult to understand because everything I did was with my mind, and I'm sure that there's many of us that started this way. For me, this concept was difficult, and I'd never heard of anybody making a decision with their heart. It was foreign to me. One day I was meditating on the power of love, the 12 powers, and the power of love. And I felt in this meditation my mind move into my heart. It descended, and I felt this really peaceful, amazing grace. And I began to think and make decisions a little differently. And I began to move with the thoughts of love, which quieted me. There was a quieting that happened that I had never experienced. And I started to feel a little bit of that inner peace that we strive to have. For me, it was difficult to grasp, but I began to feel a little bit of it. And as I became more peaceful inside, it was interesting, the environment around me started to change, and it became a little more peaceful. Interesting, what happens in us happens around us, isn't it? And then I noticed my neighbors and how I responded to them. Some neighbors I loved, others, in the morning on the way to work, I'd have to drive past this one neighbor, and she was up before dawn, I swear. And she would be out there in her garden, and she'd make a point to be right there at the corner of the road. So when I drive up there, why she would wave and smile and wish me well, and I'd wave, and my thoughts weren't of the highest consciousness, I have to say. But it took me a little bit, and I was getting uncomfortable with me. This did not feel okay for me. And I wanted to change something about me, and I'd heard people talk about that divinity, that spark of divinity in everyone. So I looked to see that spark of divinity inside her, and it was hard to find. I just was having trouble with that. You know how we perceive some things, and it's not always anyhow. But I knew that she gave of her time and energy to the community. She was on committees, and she was doing things, and she was doing good stuff. And I couldn't do those things because I was working. But she really, and I began to see that there was something good about her, and that there were people in the community that really liked her. And I started to see her in a better light. And after a little while, I was able to see a little bit of that spark, that divinity in her. And I began to shift my thoughts. And this awareness, this small awareness, was the start of building a healthier relationship with her and me. And that felt so good inside. And then I began to see more of her God nature. And over time, we could actually have a conversation. This last time when I was home, I went to her house, and we sat on the sofa and we talked. And that was good. It felt good. And she was glad to see me. I was actually glad to see her. And as I begin to have some more of this inner peace, this outer chaos, this small amount didn't even faze me. It was just there, and I kept on going. And that was the beginning of me looking at what I could contribute to the community, a way of finding peace and love in the community, because we have like 600 people during the winter up on the mountain there in the where I'm from, and it's a good thing to be good to your neighbors, because you need them here and there when you're in a small community, and so it's good to take some effort. But what I began to see was that peace in my community began with me. And what I finally figured out, peace in the world begins with you, and it begins with me in our own little corner of the world. There's a poem I'd like to share by Shel Silverstein in her book, Where the Sidewalk Ends. I will not play tug of war. I'd rather play hug of war, where everybody hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins, where everyone cuddles and everyone wins. Nice, nice. Every action and every word contributes to peace, and Reverend Dr. Gary Simmons, in his book, Eye of the Storm, talks about being in that eye of the hurricane, where it is that still, calm, quiet place. And the wind is moving around the outside of that eye, but it doesn't affect the calm, quiet center. And we can also stand in that quiet eye within ourselves and stay calm regardless of what storms or chaos is around us. Years ago, I worked in downtown Dayton, Ohio at a department store, and I'd walk several blocks to the bus stop and then to work, from the bus stop to work. And most days I passed this man sitting on the city sidewalk bench. And he was dressed in tattered clothes, his hair was long, and he had something over it, and his shoes were tied together. He never shaved, but his eyes were gentle. And he looked so calm and peaceful, and it didn't matter what was going on around him. He was there. He was part of our community. And when someone needed a kind word or some wisdom, I'd see them on the bench talking to him. In his own way, he was taking care of his little corner of the world. He was contributing in a big way, actually, with many people to the peace in our community. And I know that a lot of people got up from that bench talking to him, and they felt better. We never know who we're going to meet or what's going to happen. So last week I was in Walmart on the aisle of books, and there were several children books there on peace, and my eyes landed on a title. There's this little fella holding his teddy bear up on the front page, and the book was titled, "I Love You Through and Through," written by Carolyn Jane Church. And he was saying some very loving things about the different qualities of this bear. He really loved this bear. And I thought, if we could think about the qualities, if I could think about the qualities that I like, and I could see those qualities in the people that I meet, it would change the way I see the world. Charles Fillmore, in his book Christian Healing, says, a new heaven and a new earth that are now being established among men and nations the world over are based on love. When men and women understand each other, love increases. This is true not only among men, but between men and the animal world, and even between man and the vegetable world. Even in the animal kingdom, they help each other. They know that for them to survive, they have to stay together. And it's so interesting. I was watching on the Discovery Channel something about animals and living in groups in the wild and how they help each other. It was very interesting. Holy man and medicine man Black Elk, in his biography of his life, Black Elk speaks. He says in his first vision, he had 3 visions during his lifetime. And in his first one, he said, "When I was standing on the highest mountain of them all, and around beneath me, I saw the whole hoop of the world. And while I stood there, I saw more than I can tell, and I understood more than I saw. For I was seeing in a sacred manner the shapes of all things in spirit, and the shape of all things as they must live together like one being. And I saw the sacred hoop of my people, was one of many hoops that made one circle, wide as the daylight and as starlight. And in the center grew a mighty flowering tree to shelter the children of one mother and one father. And what I saw was holy. We all want the same thing. We want a safe place to raise our children, healthy food to eat, clean air to breathe, fresh water to drink, friends and family to love. We want to sleep peacefully at night. All over the world, we want the same thing. Leviticus 26:6 says, "And I will grant peace in the land, and you shall lie down, and no one shall make you afraid." What a thought. What a wonderful thought. We all want the same thing. No matter where we are in the world, what we do in the world, wherever we live. In this moment, join me. And let's lay the foundation stone of our house of peace that will include all people, all four-legged critters, and wings that fly in the air. We individually and together will make a difference. Peace between individuals creates peace within families, within communities, and among all nations. Let us expand our minds and hearts so that we include all living things. When we visualize world peace, it begins in our minds and our hearts. We send thoughts of love, healing, peace, and the assurance of the one divine presence and power to all people, animal kingdoms, and green vegetation in every corner of the world. We hold the entire world's life energy in our hearts. In the Eye of the Storm for Teens by Reverend Jane Simmons. She says, imagine that you have the power, and you do, to take the step, however small, that moves this planet closer to a place of peace and harmony, where all people, four-legged critters and the wings of the air, are honored. All our relations are honored. That is our soul's desire. It is why we are here, to share love. There are many things that we can do in our small world that contributes to world peace. Each time we raise our consciousness by thinking and saying positive things, we contribute to world peace. Our inspiring words and actions lift up those around us and beyond. Through our spiritual practices of prayer and forgiveness, we release our negative thoughts and attitudes. As peace flourishes in our consciousness, we discover many opportunities to serve others in our communities. Each compassionate word and generous act contributes to world peace. And Reverend Gary Simmons says, we are here for a purpose. Until we complete ownership of our purpose, to be the Christ of God in our world, we will not find inner peace or wholeness. Our world can be anything from our bodies, our families, our communities, our planet. Bringing the Christ into every situation that we find ourselves in is the reason that we are here. We are here to take care of our little corner of the earth, to make a difference right where we are. We are here to be the hands of God in action. We are here to be the hands of God in action. Let's say that in the I am statement. I am the hands of God in action. Let's repeat that. I am the hands of God in action. Let us be the peacemakers, for we are the children of God. Let us in this time have the peace that passes all understanding. This is our time. It is our time to stand tall. It is our time in whatever way we can, no matter how big or small, to reach out an extended hand, the hand of love, the hand of caring. Let us be the hands of God in action. I am love. You are love. I am peace. You are peace. Peace, be still. Thank you.
As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God, with God.
In the Middle East, there is a custom of blanketing loved ones. It is like a warm hug from an angel. So as they cover a loved one with a blanket, they visualize putting a blanket of love over and around their loved ones. So during our meditation, let's join together in blanketing the many different areas of the world. Let them know that there is peace and that there is love. I invite the live streamers, our cyber friends, all of us together to relax. As we begin to relax the top of our head, we see a yellowish white light of spirit entering our crown chakra. As that white light slowly moves down your body, relax your neck. Let your shoulders drop. Let all that tension go. Relax your arms and your hands. Even release all that your hands have held. Let it go. Release anything that is not yours. Release anything that does not serve you. Just release. Release the tension in your chest, your organs, the space between your organs. breathe deeply. Breathe out any tension. Release it now. Relax your back, down your hips, your legs and your feet, and even beneath your feet. Let any remaining tension leave your body through your toes, through your fingers. Just release it, let it go. Let us begin by knowing that God is in all places and all people. Spirit blankets the world with love. Let us blanket everybody in our home with love. We see the blanket of love covering our community. We cover our nation with this blanket of love. Now we extend our love to Canada, the North Pole, and all the countries and islands near her by putting our blanket of love over them. We're going to tuck them in so they know they're loved. We place a blanket of love over Latin America, South America, all the islands, the South Pole. Our blanket of love is placed over Africa and the islands surrounding her. And we place this blanket of love over the Middle East so that they know they're loved. This blanket of love over Asia and all the islands near her. Over China, Tibet, and the countries around her, we cover them all with a blanket of love. We cover our whole world with a blanket of love that passes all understanding. And so in the silence, we see the world of love and peace. As we enter the silence, we enter the silence of love and peace. And we see the world's hoop, including all people. We now know the hoop of the world is filled with love. We see God in all people. We know peace. Peace, be still. So it is. Amen.
As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God, with God. With God.
sing of God. Oh, I sing of God, singing His song to me. All that I am is God's melody. I'm singing every day of God. I yield to God. I yield to God. Oh, I yield to God. For God is all I see. All that I am is God rising in me. I'm yielding every day to God. And when I close my eyes to sleep, I fly in God. I float in God. I grow in God. I rise in God. I rise in God. Ooh, I rise in God. God is the way to me. All that I am to be is rising every day in God. 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 Rising every day. Rising every day. Rising every day in God. Rising every day in God. Rising every day. Rising every day. Rising every day in God.
Thank you, Jeremy and the Creative Living Band. And thank you, Reverend Fayann, for that inspiring message of peace and love. If we could only hold that in our hearts just for a little bit every day, I think we could change that world. Thank you. I hope something in today's service spiritually fed you. And if that's the case, I invite you to give to UCCL through the Spirit of the divine within you. As you know, there's many ways to give to our ministry, our website, our Facebook page, the Tithely app, snail mail, and today we will be collecting an offering for those of you here. If you'd like to set up a reoccurring tithe, you can easily do so on our website of the Tithely app. And we kudos to those of you that are already doing that. The more generously and open-heartedly that we give, the more we have at our disposal to share. And with that in mind, I invite you to take the gift that you have to give and fill it with the love that's in your heart and affirm with me our offertory blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Yes, we are. As most of you know, we have a prayer box here in the sanctuary. All you need to do is write down your prayer, slip it into the prayer box, and our prayer chaplains will pray over those prayers for 30 days and then forward them to our Silent Unity group where they will be prayed over for an additional 30 days. A very powerful presence. If you wish to have a prayer today, Bill Warfel will be available in the lobby to receive and hear your prayers. Also, we would like to acknowledge any of you that are here for the first time today. I think I see a few new faces out there. If you just raise your hand, we'd like to give you a little gift. And if you would, just take a moment and fill out the yellow, orange, whatever that color is, orange card, that's all right. Orange card on there. We appreciate it. We certainly hope that you have found our people friendly, our message meaningful, and there is something today that has inspired you to return again. And we would also like to say, welcome home. Just a couple reminders of our upcoming activities. The 5-week hybrid class of the Eye of the Storm starts on June 28th. Early bird registration begins today at $100, and the price goes up to $140 after the 25th, so register soon. Go on our website or at with Helen if you wish to register. Unity Women will meet next Tuesday, the June 20th at 6:30 in the sanctuary here. The men are going to meet at my house tomorrow, or Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Don't come tomorrow, I won't be there. And release and renew Wednesday, June 14th at 7 o'clock with the Burning Bowl meditation led by Helen Sylvester. And again, if you haven't done a Burning Bowl meditation, I strongly suggest you give yourself that gift of time and come out and release those things that you'd like to release and envision those things that you would like to generate. So now, we'd like to have you stand and join with us in the prayer protection. And I would also like to say thank you to our kitchen staff and invite all of you to stay afterwards for some refreshments so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. And now I invite you to join with me in saying the prayer protection as an I am statement. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God.
All right, remain standing, and we're going to feel the powerful presence of peace as we move into our week by singing, I've Got the Power.
2, 3.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
It's all right to clap, come on.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power to make all my dreams come true. I got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I got the power to be anything I want.
I got the power inside of me. I got the power inside of me.
Thanks for beginning.
I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
It's here at Creative Living in St. John's, Florida. Claim your power.